Hello there, beautiful souls, beautiful humans. RozyGlow here with a little update to get us ready for the next new moon, which is a supermoon, no less. A supermoon in Aries. So we're just in the in between eclipses corridor. How are you actually getting on with this? I would love to know how the eclipses are actually affecting you. Are you finding yourself being blown about by the winds of change, things happening unexpectedly that are throwing you off course, putting you on a new course? Or are you finding that you're managing to work with the elements, with the wind, so that you're spreading your wings and leading the storm like the amazing butterfly, transformational change maker that you are? Because you know what, beautiful ones? Those of you here are starseeds, light workers, empaths, way showers, luminaries, the architects, builders, and the energizers of the new earth. I love you. Thank you so much for joining me in the co-creation of a whole new vision for this planet. Paradise Earth, heaven on earth, however you want to see it, we are here to create a new reality that we desire, that we don't acquiesce to, sorry, anyone else's idea. We desire and we consciously co-create. And if you're up for that, I would love a subscribe, a like, a thank you, a yes, star piece, whatever it is that you would like to say in relation to this, because we are, every one of us, either contributing to the spiral of doom, which we see all around us, or the spiral of joy that we are co-creating through us choosing to work with the energies that are here and transmuting shadow to light. And this is a huge part of what this new moon coming is all about. Now, just to set the stage, I am really just giving you a quick little update now to get you interested in joining me on Monday, because I am going to be offering a free community event on Monday, an hour before the lunar eclipse. So this is after the new moon's birth. It's going to be 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. UK time. So please check what time that is for you. We're now in British Standard Time rather than GMT. So it should be 5 hours before that is Eastern Standard Time and 8 hours before that Pacific Time. But just check your calendars and please head along to Manifesting Star Peace Utopia, the Facebook group. I'll make sure we put the link in the comments and the text box for you to join me for this free event. This is really to bring community together, because everything that's happening right now is preparing us for Lionsgate in August. And also we are going to have another cleanup job that goes on in September and October when we hit the next North and South Node eclipse season. And this is all about us fully stepping into the Thrive paradigm. Now, if you are not aware of this yet, we are currently in a birth canal. This is the birth canal of the age of Aquarius. We've been in it since 2012. We're going to be in it until 2032. So we're over the hump. We're 12 years in, but there is work to be done now for us to fully embed the codes that allow us to live as our divine human selves and to actually create the reality that we'd like here on this planet, rather than to acquiesce to the reality that others are choosing for us in the name of progress, in the name of evolution, when those who are choosing it for us are not very balanced, well-centered, resolved, healthy, mature themselves. They're actually quite wounded, and that's okay. We're all quite wounded, and that's the amazing thing about these energies. Presently, we're going to have, as we come into this new moon in Aries, the new moon, the sun, Chiron, Eris, and Venus all in Aries. So there's a massive push forward to really propel us into the energy of the masculine known as the fearless warrior. Okay, now I'd like you to imagine that the fearless warrior is an element of the resolved masculine, of the healthy masculine. It's not the only element we want to connect with. There's a book called Warrior, King, Magician, Lover, and those are 4 of the archetypes that are often worked with in men's groups, and they're important for us to be aware that they help to create a balanced aspect of the masculine within us, our inner masculine, and also in the masculines in the world today. So those who are walking around as men and holding on to that energy and working with that energy. So what is the counter, the shadow of the fearless warrior is actually the fearful soldier. The fearful soldier that is repressed, angry, scared, and therefore able to attack and to inflict pain on others because of the pain and suffering that they have endured. And I will talk more about this on Monday, but essentially I've been learning a lot from the Vampire Diaries. So I love watching various series and stuff. I love, the concepts of how we can learn things in entertainment. And I'm not going to go into the details here, but let's just say that it became very evident to me how cruelty gets perpetuated from one gen to the next, and actually how those who are creating the most heinous acts and crimes in the world today are actually coming from a place where they're incredibly tortured themselves. And I will talk about that later. But for now, what is important is for every one of us to own where we are wounded and to do the deep inner work. Now, Chiron is the wounded healer energy. Eris is, well, there's lots of elements of Eris, but let's just say the goddess of discord, supposedly, possibly the sister of Aries. And the interesting thing, I mean, I've heard also goddess of war. There's also different elements in Greek mythology, but basically what's happening is there's this massive ball of fire, if you like, to propel all of us to actually burn away where we're still holding on to the old paradigm, which is the age of Pisces, the age of the martyr, and we step into, from duality into unity consciousness, which is really about us moving from the place of being unresolved and in conflict internally to being resolved and fully accepting of ourselves. And this is how we actually step forward and lead by example, which is what the age of Aquarius is about. There's something about the Aquarian energy. It's the opposite of Leo. So it's like the balance of the personal self-identity and how we radiate this out into the collective. So being the individual droplet in the ocean, this is the energy of this axis of the age of Aquarius. The shadow element is going to be the Leo energy. Okay, so the sort of self-absorbed, it's all about me first, squash, and who cares about everyone else. That's the side that we're actually bringing to light and seeing where there are elements relating still to that, and also to the martyr frequency of the old paradigm. So what am I going to do with you on Monday? Well, one of the things that's really, really powerfully evident to me is how the eclipses that we're currently experiencing, now the ones we're just in the corridor of presently, and the ones we'll have in September and October, are actually very much about preparing us, one, to make the most of the Lion's Gate portal energies, which I'm calling the portal of peace this year. And this is from August the 8th until the 12th, although the portal opens a good month before and doesn't really close until a good month after. And I have created something to support those who are the architects of the new earth to actually come in and receive the codes we need in order to be able to hold the frequencies and transmit them through the crystalline grid and the divine human heart grid and the divine mind grid into the collective. And we hold the shape, the architecture of a new reality. But in order for us to do that in the world, it's really important we're holding that blueprint inside of ourselves, which means looking at our personal lives, looking at where, our work-life balance is off and where we want to create some resolution there. So I'll talk more about that on Monday. And there is also a huge opportunity for the collective, for every one of us, to be part of co-creating the Thrive paradigm by choosing to participate collectively in a vision that we all choose to energize at the same time on the same day, which is going to be on the 8th of the 8th. On the 8th of the 8th, 2024, which vibrates to the number 8 as well, 2024. If you add them up, they become 8. So this is the invitation I'll go more into on Monday. But I'm also going to be talking about how the eclipse is now preparing us, and the eclipses after Lion's Gate are going to do the consolidation work to make sure that we well and truly let go of that old paradigm that keeps us self-sacrificing, that keeps us, suffering when we don't need to suffer. And I want to give you an example of this, okay? When I say suffering is unnecessary, what I mean by that is, for the most part, we all need to learn how to move through pain, okay? Pain is part of the process of being alive. Physical pain, emotional pain, psychological pain, even spiritual pain. It's through crisis that we grow and we evolve. It's not the only way, but it is one way as humans we develop our capacity to grow more and to have compassion and to support others on their journey. Suffering, though, is often incredibly unnecessary and is based on the fact that we have not made the best choices to align with what we truly desire. And that's what my invitation to you is on Monday, is to look at where you are aligned with what you desire and where you're not. So we're going to be focusing on two things. One is where there is the importance for you to integrate your shadow and light. So which are the parts of you don't accept, that you feel are not resonant with the person that you are now, with the person that you want to become. There's going to be elements that need transmuting, elements that need accepting, and I'll go more into that on Monday. The other aspect around all of this is actually about whether you have got the energetic container set up to receive what it is you say you want. So are you an energetic match for what you desire? I've given the analogy of the fact that most, if you have a capacity to hold, let's say 100 liters of water in your energetic container, and you want to access 10,000 liters of water, then you're going to overspill, right? You're not going to be able to hold that unless you create a container that can hold those 10,000 liters. So that's a growing process that we can't do in one go. We do it incrementally. So there'll be more on that on Monday as well. Now, those are 2 of 6 elements that are required for us all to get on board with. And I'll talk to you about the other 4 on Monday. It's all about Monday, and it's all about us coming together for an hour before the actual eclipse, because I want to give you the opportunity to then go and really tune into the eclipse energy and allow that opportunity that you didn't expect to land your way, to set you on course in a new direction that is totally aligned with what you desire, but maybe does not come about the way that you expected. It's just about being ready. Are you ready for what you say you want? That's the bit that is in your control. When it actually occurs is another story, but you actually being prepared and ready for what you want is the key. So I'm going to offer you also, that's the energetic audit element on Monday. And the second element is I'm going to offer you an activation. Now, this is completely free. This is on me. I want you to have a taste of what is possible. I also want you to know the value of the full moon co-creation meditations, world service, and personal healing that I offer every month, which are behind closed doors and are a nominal fee. You pay a little bit to participate because it's all about our interaction that really helps you to then embed the frequency codes that we work with. Now, typically I work high end. I work one-to-one and high end groups because I work with small groups and with people incredibly deeply. And it's particularly those that influence many that I'm here to work with. Okay, so, one of the things that we're looking at, and it's very important for us to see, is what's going on with political leadership, what's going on with the way showers in this world. Who are they? Do we really want them to be leading us? What do we want instead? And as I said, this shift from fearful soldier to fearless warrior is actually the shift from the patriarchal paradigm moving into the world, or the paradigm of uniarchy, which is the era of the divine child. Now, when mum and dad have done what they can to be their own resolved selves, so that they can actually bring their child up in such a way that they can meet the needs of their child for the most part, because their own personal unmet needs have been met for the most part, then we create a whole new expectation in this world. Most of us have been wired to survive rather than thrive. So it's very important that we understand that actually, for us to have the shift we want on this planet, we are required to actually shift our programming. And again, that's a whole other story. But the invite for August, there are 2 elements. One is an amazing 3-month container with a 3-night, 4-day luxury retreat in North Wales that I'll be inviting those of you who resonate in architect energy to come along and participate in. The other is a free global meditation event, which is for everybody. And we want to bring at least 10,000 people together. I'm aiming for 100,000 because that way we don't just affect the field, we change it. But there's more of that on Monday. So what can you do in the meantime? Let me just actually bring up what I did prepare here for myself so that I didn't go off tangent. Let's see. So we have already, I've explained integration of shadow and light I'm going to go through. Also, the structures set up to allow us to hold the frequency we desire. It's very, very important for us to understand more about what that means. We're really looking at how we can currently evolve with the thrive paradigm, and it is about this upgrade from the soldier to the warrior in terms of our inner masculine. And when we come to the next full moon, by the way, it's a full moon in Scorpio. So we're going to be working with shifting that cruelty energy, that energy that allows us to inflict pain on others because we're in pain ourselves. And this is particularly relating to our masculine. Last year when I was working with the full moon in Scorpio, it was more about the feminine. So really kind of giving you a sense now to consider how the impact of our parental wounding, both in archetype and also in our personal experience, affects the collective and our personal experience. And, what I want to say with this is that I'm here to help herald this age of peace. Okay, Star Peace is my baby. If you haven't yet checked out starpeaceconsciousness.com, please do, because everything is laid out there. And I'm excited to say that I'm going to be talking about Star Peace for the first time at a festival called the New Earth Festival in Portugal at the end of this month. And now it's all starting to happen. People are asking me to come onto their podcast to talk about it. People are inviting me to festivals to talk about it. It is time. Okay, we have what we need to create the new reality. We just need to share the information with everybody. So that's my mission. And one of the things that I really want to say is I'm inviting everybody to consider what peace means to them. And if you are willing to comment as I ask this question, what does peace mean to you? What is your idea of what peace is in the collective and for you personally? You can answer however you want. Yeah, just I want to know what comes to you, because I have a sense that we really need to bring peace to life. Now, one question I'll ask you is peace the absence of conflict, or is it the resolution of conflict? What is peace? Is it something that's flatlining as just a frequency, or is it a dynamic state that we achieve through elements coming together? Just something to consider. Okay, so I'm going to leave this here. Now, again, just want to remind you, Monday is very, very, very powerful. It's a super moon. It's a super new moon, and it's heralding us this really powerful energy that comes through Aries. Aries is bold. Aries is like the fool in the journey. Aries is the aspect that just moves forward fearlessly because hasn't endured all the hardship and the struggle and the suffering that's come about through being through the whole zodiac cycle. So there is this almost false confidence about Aries, although in the context of what we're actually dealing with here, there's not false confidence at all. It's va-va-voom energy to really get us fired up and to work with our wounding in such a way that we are not trying to save the world or anyone from a wounded, unresolved space in ourselves. But we actually have learned to work with our wounding in such a way that we are coming from our higher self, our resolved self, which allows us to have compassion for others, but also discernment when it comes to suffering, because some suffering, as I said, is totally avoidable. And where it is avoidable, we want to avoid it. Let me give you one example. The process of physiological birth is intense. Most people would say it's painful. Some people will say to you, it's really intense, and actually you can trip that pain-pleasure frequency and experience the intensity of it as pleasurable if you surrender to it. That's one element. Now, for that to be true, there are certain conditions that must be in place. And these are the conditions that will make the difference between a shorter labor and a really long labor. Now, I am a mother of a beautiful, amazing young lady, and I had a 4-day labor with her. 4 days of really intense contractions from Monday through to Thursday is when she was born. Now, did I need to go through that? Did she need to go through that? Well, to get the baby into the pelvis so that she could be born, that needed to happen. But the reason it took so long is there was a misalignment between where her head was pressing on my cervix, and I was also so scared of the process that I was delaying the inevitable rather than working with the energy to help her move through me. I didn't know how to handle pain. I was super scared, and there was a misalignment. Now, those 3 things made it what it was and made me come here today. I'm not wounded. Okay, this is not like I'm trying to save everyone from the pain of giving birth. I'm saying, hey, dudes, you don't have to go through 4 days. It might take you 1 day. How would you like to learn how to manage your fear, manage the pain, and actually get into the best alignment possible? You interested? Good. That's why you want to join me on Monday, because this is what I do on a soul level with people. If you can lower down the suffering, yeah, maximize the potential to transmute intensity in such a way that it becomes enjoyable rather than endurance, would you be interested? Good. We're in a birth canal right now. It is the birth canal of the age of Pisces to Aquarius. I primarily work with the leaders. I also work with those that I call the builders of the new earth paradigm. Those of you that are the coaches, those of you who are the therapists, those of you who are the psychotherapists, those of you who are the healers, those of you who are here to do the nitty-gritty work with those to help resolve their wounding, okay? So whether you're a builder, whether you're an architect of the new earth, and the architects are the way showers, the luminaries, leaders, the heart-centered leaders, this is really, really key to have this information. And all of us are energizers of the new earth paradigm. So learning how to energize it is exactly what Star Peace is about. It's exactly what the masterclass is about. So we'll be going a little bit more into the energies of the energizer, the builder, and the architect of the new earth, and the feminine counterparts, if you like, because it's all about the yin and the yang. All of this on Monday. What do you need to do? one thing, my friends. It's really easy. Go along to Manifesting Star Peace Utopia, the Facebook group, and join my private community there. Come and be part of this. There's a lot happening and I want you to be a part of it. So I'm going to leave that. I welcome your questions. I now am going to whiz off and see my lovely daughter, and I will see you all on Monday. Take care for now. Links are in text box above, below, wherever this is. And feel free to drop me a comment and let me know how you're finding the eclipses and also what you believe peace to be. Thank you. Lots of love for now. Bye-bye.